right-based model. And again, the speakers were very unanimous that we should go for the concept of empanelment of training partners. Two NIs are already doing, 11 and two partners, more are also must be doing, which concept makes them broadly accepted for various entities which take NIs as empanelment training partners, which is a very good concept, should be promoted further. And every speaker, directly or indirectly, has focused on technology. Any disability of any type today, technology is the biggest tool for bringing reasonable accommodation and enhancing their functioning. Then also speakers have focused on assistive devices. Most of speakers from different NIs did mention that we should have focus on appropriate, affordable assistive devices, and they should use the right manner. And speakers also, I just summed up reasonable accommodation, providing all the support and services. Law also recognizes, policy also recognizes. So we should have the concept of reasonable accommodation, which leads to employment and livelihood. And then one speaker very nicely explained around 12 models of employment. There are very different shades of employment, but every model has a limitation. There's no model which is perfect. They have their own applicability and use, but they have their own limitation. And the speaker also pointed out that philanthropy model does not last very long. We cannot depend on charity forever. We have to go for competitiveness, employment on their abilities and their performance. And then the speakers have focused on social equity, which leads to equality, equity, social justice, and equal opportunities. So we have the social equity, which should result into their employment and livelihood in the broader framework. Then speakers also mentioned that we should identify jobs where people with disabilities have inbuilt advantage. We can promote them that in these jobs, the people with disabilities, for example, visual impaired people, perform very well as masseurs and physiotherapists. Hearing impaired done very good on textile machinery jobs. And so speakers pointed out we must identify such jobs, such tasks where the people with disability have inbuilt advantage due to their disability or due to their other qualities. Then the speakers also mentioned that we should identify the factors where person with disabilities perform better as compared to non-disabled. These 13, 14 are common. So we have to have a research or identification, which becomes a unique selling proposition to tell the world that these are the jobs where our people perform better than the non-disabled. Then, of course, speakers also desire safety at workplaces, and then promoting teamwork and initiative and skills and competitiveness among the people with disabilities. We have to prepare them for employment. We just can't go and keep on asking for employment. The speakers were very right in saying that we have to prepare them. They should have self-confidence. They should be have better personality, and they should compete for the jobs and perform in the jobs. And last and very important, we should also promote functional skills, and we should go for application-based jobs. We cannot talk of only arithmetic, 3 hours for people with intellectual disabilities or other limitation. There we have to go for functional assessment, functional curriculum, functional application-based jobs. So these are the some of the points which have come out of the deliberation of all the speakers. I must congratulate each and everyone. While we work for different institute, different location, we have a lot of similarity of our thoughts, and every speaker respected the existing laws of the country, initiative of the country, and what so little has happened, they have tried to share. But this also emerged. Beginning has been made, but we have a long way to go. And in that journey, all these points and some points which I might have missed out, those can be added, will play a role of accelerating the speed of giving them employment, livelihood, respect, dignity, and their gainful occupation and economic independence. I must congratulate all the speakers. They were very well prepared. Their thoughts were very relevant. And this is what has emerged in totality. And I appreciate the outcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Now, within 5 to 10 minutes, we'll start with our valedictory session. So, kindly be with us.
Rajni sir, who is the moderator of this session? You and Sarvari ma'am and or Dinesh sir.
Dinesh is moderator. Yeah, Dinesh will moderate this session.
Okay, you both are on co-host. Okay.
Yes, Dinesh will moderate, and
Rajnish ji,
will moderate.
Rajnish ji.
सभी को नमस्कार।
सर नमस्कार।
नमस्ते नमस्ते। राज साहब कैसे हैं? अच्छे हैं
सर? बिल्कुल बढ़िया सर। सर
जी नमस्ते।
नमस्ते सर।
नमस्ते नमस्ते।
मैं सभी
जी नमस्ते।
हमारे बीच में प्रोफेसर सुधीर भदौरिया जी हैं। आप राजीव गांधी प्रौद्योगिकी विश्वविद्यालय में हैं इस समय भोपाल, और हमारे विज्ञान भारती के जनरल सेक्रेटरी महासचिव हैं। और
नमस्कार सर।
नमस्ते नमस्ते। नमस्ते गोपी कृष्णन जी नमस्ते।
नमस्कार सर।
नमस्ते सर।
दिनेश जी आप स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं, सभी लोग आ गए।
Okay. Yes, all are there. Okay, now we'll quickly move on to our valedictory session of our today's event, Conclave on Assistive Technologies and Invention. So to start with, I'll call upon our principal coordinator, Dr. Gopikrishna Konga, to give the to present.
I think Dr. Dinesh, before that, you kindly introduce the guest of honors and chief guest.
Okay,
I think
okay,
that
fine.
would be better. Yeah.
Okay, fine, sir. So for this today's valedictory session, we have among us Professor Sudhir Singh Bhadauria. He is a director in University Institute of Technology, Rajiv Gandhi Pradyogiki Vishwavidyalaya, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. So welcome you, sir, to this valedictory session. And in the form of guest of honor, we have Ms. Dithana Nakroji. She is a State Commissioner for Persons with Disabilities, Government of Nagaland. Welcome, ma'am, to the valedictory session. And we have Dr. Subrata Kumar Das ji, Rehabilitation Officer, Civil Department, Government of Odisha, and President of Saksham Odisha, Purva Prant Bhubaneswar. Welcome, sir, to the validity session. Then, to start with, I'll call upon Dr. Gopi Krishna Konga, our Principal Coordinator, to sum up and to brief the detailed summary of the today's event.
Yeah, thank you, Dr.
थोड़ा
Thank you, Dr. Dinesh, Professor Bhadoria, coordinators, guests of honor, directors of National Institute, participants. Thank you all for gracing this occasion. So, good evening. Now I will be briefly presenting what we did these 2 days and what are the recommendations. Some specific recommendations has been given by the different panels. So I will just brief them. So the theme of this year's event is empowering Divyangjan through science and technology and innovation for self-reliance. And we had aptly deliberated on this with special reference to Divyangjan. The deliberations were participated as well as attended by various stakeholders in the S2 technology value chain. So we had researchers, we had scientists, engineers, clinicians, innovators, policymakers, entrepreneurs. We are having representatives from startups, government, and non-government organizations. There are people from industries, counselors, and then Divyangjans along with their caregivers. So the arduous task of summing up was given to me. So since there are different sessions which were coordinated by different moderators, I may miss a few points, but I will present in a holistic way. So if there are any other points which I missed, the other coordinators can please complement them. So the first session, what we had yesterday was mainstreaming Divyangjan through equity and inclusion. So this was with special reference to women in Northeast states. And this was chaired by Dr. Hemalata Tomar, where the panel discussed on the issues faced by women in accessing the assistive technologies when compared to others. And the panel suggested solutions for bridging the gap. So we will be making a report and we will be sharing this report with all the participants and we will take the recommendations forward for implementation through different schemes of DST. So the committee also discussed on the accessibility issues of population of Northeast states. So there is a huge geographical divide which we need to bridge. What we had discussed is these issues cannot be discussed in a mere session, but we need more elaborate discussions to exactly pinpoint the technical aspects and the solutions needed. This is about the first session. The second session was on assistive technology ecosystem in India. So this session was chaired by Dr. Debapriya Datta. So this was more of a systemic level. What are the gaps that exist at the systemic level we discussed? So the panel deliberated on the existing gaps in the assistive technology ecosystem in India with special reference to the current status and problems in research and development, role of government and other stakeholders in developing and promoting the assistive technology ecosystem. We also discussed on the problems in technology transfer, production of assistive devices, commercialization, the scale of economics, and all these things. So the panel had made several suggestions to strengthen the AT ecosystem in terms of bridging the gaps in AT research, promoting startups and MSMEs, assessment, use and training of the assistive devices which are provided by the government. There will be a product delivery and there should be a follow-up on the devices which the government give freely to the people. So one of the recommendations, collaboration and partnerships. So there should be collaboration and partnership among different stakeholders in the value chain itself for developing successful products and success of assistive technology ecosystem in India. This was about the second session. So the third session was on indigenization and Indianization of assistive technologies. So the committee was chaired by Professor Anupam Basu. The panel discussed about the importance of developing affordable and adaptable solutions to the Indian milieu. The committee also deliberated on development and production of assistive technologies for self-reliance. So there is Alimco, which is currently producing the devices. So we also discussed about the modernization of Alimco and all for development of indigenous devices. The fourth session was on independent daily living today morning, which was chaired by Professor Rangasai. So the panel made recommendations for developing technologies that ease the life of the Divyangjan and technologies for performing at least the basic routine activities for different categories of Divyangjan. Again, we are having the fifth session, which is a very important session on education and skill development of Divyangjan. And the panel was chaired by Professor Anupam Ahuja from NCERT, and the panel highlighted the role of affordable assistive technologies, the need for developing skill sets, the importance of zero energy devices for rural masses. All these issues have been discussed. The panel also highlighted the need for affordable and scalable solutions, the importance of skill development and capacity building in creating employment to Divyangjan. And besides discussing the National Education Policy 2020, the panel also advocated that the education and skill development should not be merely looked at some charity sort of thing, but it should also lead to employment. The sixth session just before we had concluded, so this was on employment and livelihoods, and this was chaired by Dr. Bhushan Punani. So the panel discussed the need for building dynamic skill sets among Divyangjan rather than restricting to education and primary skills. The importance of building skill-based curriculum for empowering Divyangjan in a sustainable way was also discussed. The panel also advocated the promotion of specific skills for creating an equitable inclusive growth. And the committee also identified 17 different aspects and recommended that these aspects should be considered for strengthening the livelihoods and employment, which some of these aspects will be taken up by DST in the current program, which we are having for providing skill sets, employability, and livelihood options for people with different disabilities. So based on the panel discussions, what we have seen is we can sum up in the following way. So the thing is there should be a mechanism for bringing products from lab to land and markets. So this we are lacking in India. So many products are just 80 products are restricted to labs and as MTech and BTech pieces. So there should be translation of technologies. So this is one recommendation which emerges out of all these things. So we should pave the way for integration of rehabilitation and assistive technology devices. So rehabilitation also play a very important role. So, and we should promote multidisciplinary research on disability. And we should also strengthen research on habilitation and rehabilitation technologies. This is one point which emerges out. And there is a need to understand the accessibility to technologies because many Divyangjan doesn't have proper access to technology. So this access to technology should be there, which creates equity and inclusion. And then there is a need for building a proactive R&D system in India, which will lead to strengthening of the entire AT ecosystem in India. And then we have to create AT accelerators and incubators like we discussed yesterday. We need more startups and industries to take up these products. And they should be seen, not to be seen as a charity, but it should be seen as a way to empower the Divyangjan. Then we should understand the main problem is we don't understand the systemic gaps. So we should understand the systemic gaps of different stakeholders. As I told that there are a lot of stakeholders in the complete AT value chain. So we need to see what are the problems faced by different stakeholders and we should try to address them. Then the other thing is there should be people-centered approach for provision of appropriate assistive technologies. So this is one of the things which emerged out. So apart from the above points, any other actionable points and suggestions are most welcome. And I request all the panelists and the participants to kindly send your comments to any of the coordinators. Your views and suggestions will pave a way for realization of AT-enabled inclusive development. Role and responsibilities of various stakeholders in the AT ecosystem, user-centric product design and development, which will lead to increased coordination between the accessibility, usability, and inclusion research and practice, which we will take up as a multidisciplinary research with imperative user involvement. So if I see on a larger perspective, the recommendations will help in realizing not only the implementation strategies for Sudamya Bharat Abhiyan, but will also develop more and more technically feasible and economically viable technology solutions for Divyangjan in realizing the dream of accessible India, empowered India, Honorable Prime Minister. So with this, I end my conclusions. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for summing up the activities of today's event. Now I'll call upon our guest of honor, Ms. Dithendra Nakhuraji, State Commissioner for Persons with Disabilities, Government of Nagaland, to address the gallery.
Oh, it is for me?
No, sir. Ma'am Dithendra Nakhuraji.
Yes. Thank you very much. Chief guest, Dr. Subir Singh Bhadoria, and everyone present here today. A very good evening to all of you. I'm very happy to join you in this program, and I thank you for giving me this time to share a few words. First of all, I would like to congratulate the coordinating team led by Principal Coordinator, Dr. Gopi Krishna Konga, for successfully conducting the two-day conclave on assistive technologies and Divyangjan. This is such an important and timely conversation, and I appreciate the India International Science Festival for continuing with this dialogue, which was started in 2019. Assistive technology is sometimes seen as a gimmick or a luxury even. This cannot be further from the truth. For people with disabilities, as well as older people, technology can change the most ordinary of daily activities from the impossible to the possible. Assistive technology, as we know, refers to any device to maintain or improve an individual's functioning and independence, to facilitate participation and to enhance overall well-being. It can be as simple as a hearing aid or cane, or as sophisticated as a voice-activated computer system or mechanical hoist to lift and turn someone in bed. Access to assistive technology, of course, serves as the gateway to access education, employment, social inclusion, and other opportunities to participate in civic life. The growing focus on assistive technology in the country gives great hope and optimism about the future for the disability community. Understanding the need and the importance, the government of India, as we know, has several laws and policies in place to provide assistive aids and devices to persons with disabilities, and also to promote development of technologies. As we are aware, the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment implements the ADIP scheme by providing grants to agencies of the central and state governments and non-government organizations, which of course reflects the government's commitment to respond to the needs of persons with disabilities. However, there are several challenges that need to be addressed, which have already been summed up by our principal coordinator. All these have been discussed in the panel discussions, and a lot more that can and needs to be done to develop our assistive technology infrastructure. Without appropriate assistive technologies and solutions, people who live with disabilities are isolated and segregated from every sphere of life. I know this very well firsthand as a person, as a user, as a wheelchair user myself. The difference an assistive product can make to someone who is disabled can be everything. Yet one of the biggest challenges we face, as already mentioned, is the limited access to cost-effective and affordable assistive aids and devices. A large percentage of people who live with disabilities have unmet needs despite the outreach of the government through the national institutes. There is also very poor awareness among persons with disabilities and their caregivers about various assistive technologies available. In this regard, perhaps a separate assistive technology act can even be considered. to make assistive technologies and products more accessible to persons with disabilities, to establish standards for assistive technologies and devices, to improve funding for research and development, expand knowledge of applications of AT devices and services, carry out awareness and advocacy campaigns, to support startups coming up with solutions, and so on. Prevalence of disability is increasing in India as in other countries, and this trend will continue due to the aging population, increase in chronic health conditions, as well as injuries and violence. This means that the requirement for appropriate assistive technologies and devices will only keep growing. One point to keep in mind also is that a lack of assistive aids and devices affects the economy as well. For example, when provided suitable wheelchairs, many people with mobility disabilities can be unable to work and earn. Without one, those who live with disabilities can find themselves dependent on state benefits and or pensions and the care of relatives whose earning potential is also curtailed in the process. On the other hand, assistive technology can also help address gaps in the implementation of the many policies which our government has provided to ensure the rights of disabled citizens. In education, for example, one tool to help students with disabilities, even in the face of shortage of special education teachers, is assistive technology. Today, assistive technology tools can help students with different types of disabilities learn more effectively, ranging in sophistication from low technologies such as graphic organizer worksheet to high technologies, including cutting-edge software and smartphone apps. Assistive technology is a growing and dynamic field. All these underline the need to build a sustainable ecosystem for assistive as well as accessible technology in India, which empowers everyone to participate fully in society. A strong push is obviously urgently required to ensure that the needs of a growing population of disabled people are met. We certainly have the means to make this happen with a government, as I mentioned earlier, a government committed to address the needs of persons with disabilities, and the existence of a vibrant research community and innovative manufacturing capabilities in the country. I have had the opportunity to listen to some of the panel discussions in these past 2 days, and many great ideas and recommendations that can address our challenges have been sounded, which have already been summed up. I hope it will lead to more discussion and action on how we can transform people's lives for the better through effective and appropriate policy and practice measures through assistive technology. Thank you very much once again for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for sharing such an important views. Now I'll call upon our special guest, Dr. Subrata Kumar Das ji. He is a Rehabilitation Officer, C Department, Government of Odisha, and President, Saksham Odisha Prant, Purba Prant, Bhubaneswar. Sir, I invite you to address the gathering.
Thank you. Sudhir Bhadoria ji, Dr. Punga ji, and all dignitaries, participants, and guests in the meeting. If you see the whole rehabilitation sector in India, so only after 1984, 85, this sector has grown. Now we have a sizable and a widespread network of rehabilitation. But see, if you go back a little bit in last 2019, when the general election, what happened, even if for providing wheelchairs to all the booths, we have depended on countries like Taiwan, China, and Belgium to supply even wheelchairs. And when we are speaking of assistive devices and technology, so what I feel, so we have all the range of equipment for therapy, then surgical intervention, diagnostic equipment, advanced technologies like robotics and bionics, mobility assistive devices, educational aids, and range of other products. At this juncture, when everybody speaks of this Atmanirbhar Bharat and all other activities, so can we think of developing a system, a effective research and innovation practice to produce all such equipments within this country instead of depending on exports, imports? Secondly, if you see the whole Asian countries, it's almost similar problems are there in all Asian countries. Can't we be a production hub of this assistive devices for both PWDs and equipment to support them? So this is the priority point. Since other points, most of the dignitaries and the participants they have discussed. So can we have a can we develop a plan of action for the whole thing to produce this equipment, distribute this, market this, even we can involve these corporate houses to produce all these things. So unless we have effective and adequate equipment and devices to support PWD, can we develop their life, their day-to-day requirements, can it be fulfilled? So when such meetings and groups are organized, so I hope we should think of developing a national level forum, national level system to conduct more and more research and innovation on this. And particularly, I will appeal this DSP and both the ministry to set up joint initiatives for setting up such innovation units. Like if you see in food production and things, we have a CFTRI in Bangalore. What they are producing, designing and producing equipment for each and every type of food grain processing and uh, packaging. Similarly, we should have develop a center which can actually conduct research and design machineries and equipment for this purpose. Second, some private entrepreneurs are already there in the business. So we have some hearing aid companies and others in besides Alimco, and some national institutes are also doing this. So we need more input, more support for these private entrepreneurs to at least produce range of equipment. And if you see today, at least around 100 districts in the country are having some facility or some equipment to deal with the PWD. But rest of the district, we don't have even a piece of equipment to support PWD. So I will appeal this house to think on this and help setting up a larger unit, innovation unit which can work on this, exclusively work on this. Most of the time what happens is what we do in the name of rehabilitation, what we do, we provide some basic things, and from financial support so that, and some educational support. With that, we hope that the people PWD will excel. How can do that? Unless we provide them effective assistive devices, adequate equipment for their treatment and therapy, how can we develop their physical conditions? So these are the points we need to look into in the near future. Unless we address these issues, like today, we will be depending on imports to support and drive our rehabilitation sector in the country. So this is the primary issue I wanted to share with all of you. I again thank you to invite me for this August session, and thank you all again.
Thank you so much, sir, for addressing the gathering and for putting forth some of the suggestions towards the improvement of the livelihood of the Bengal. Now I'll call upon our coordinator, Dr. Rajnish Chaturvedi, to announce the results of poster competition.
Thank you, Dr. Dinesh, for giving me this opportunity to announce the results of poster competition. I know that all the students must be eager to know their result. So in this category, we were having total 56 posters, and judges had very tough time to decide the best poster in this category. So we have total 6 consolation prizes, and these prizes also included cash money and a certificate. So consolation prizes, we have 6 prize, and it is 2,000 rupees each. And then third prize, we have 5,000 rupees along with certificate, and second prize is 7,000 rupees along with certificate, and first prize include 10,000 rupees with certificate. So now I announce consolation prizes for poster presentation, and it goes to Neeraj Kumar Goswami, Kanak Manjari, Vishwas Srivastava, Harpreet Singh, Arvind S. Krishnan, and Apurva Pandey. Congratulations to all of them. And then third prize goes to Amarnath Prasad. It includes 5,000 rupees cash. And then second prize goes to Nitin Kondal, and first prize goes to Ankit Kumar Singh. Congratulations to all the poster presentation awardee. And I also give my best wishes to all other participants who could not get the prize, but they presented very well, and their efforts were very nice, and all the efforts were appreciated by all the judges. So there were lots of very good posters, and they presented very nice things related to Divyangjans. So congratulations and best wishes to each and everyone. Thank you so much. Now it's over to Dinesh ji.
Thank you, Rajnish ji. Congratulations to all the participants. Now I'll call upon our chief guest of this session, Professor Sudhir Singh Bhadoria, to address the gathering and to share his important views.
इस कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित कोऑर्डिनेटर गोपी कृष्णन जी, सुब्रत जी, रजनीश जी, मैडम मूर्ति, करवरी जी, मिनाल जी, और आई थिंक सारे लोग जो मैं मानता हूं कि विज्ञान जनों से फिजिकली चैलेंज लोगों से कहीं ना कहीं के प्रति एक संवेदनशील लोग हैं। निश्चित तौर पर इसी कारण हम आज यहाँ पर सारे लोग उपस्थित हैं। आप सबको जानकारी है, विज्ञान भारती और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, विशेष रूप से डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, जो सामान्य तौर पे एक मोटिव लेके चली है, उसका यही है कि विज्ञान के माध्यम से समाज का एम्पावरमेंट, द वेलफेयर ऑफ द सोसाइटी थ्रू साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी। और आप सबको जानकारी है कि इसी कारण हमने एक जो थीम दी है वो आत्मनिर्भर भारत और विश्व कल्याण की थीम दी है इस वर्ष के इस ISF 2020 के आयोजन में। लेकिन हम सब लोग जानते हैं कि समाज के उत्थान से सामान्य तौर पर जो मीनिंग रहता है वो एक फिजिकल एम्पावरमेंट, एक वैभव जिसको हम कहते हैं, उससे रहता है। लेकिन हमारे बीच में, समाज में, हमारे घर परिवार में कुछ ऐसे लोग भी रहते हैं जिसको हम, जो कहीं ना कहीं या तो नैसर्गिक रूप से या इस हमारी समाज में व्याप्त कुछ मेल न्यूट्रिशन या किसी अन्य कारणों से हम एक अलग तरह की के जो है, जिनको कहना चाहिए चैलेंजेस को उनको स्ट्रगल करना पड़ता है। हम लोग सामान्य तौर पर आज उनको डिफरेंटली एनेबल्ड लोग कहते हैं और फिजिकली चैलेंज कहते हैं, बट निश्चित तौर पर वो डिसेबल लोग तो नहीं कहते हैं। तो सबसे पहले यदि हम समाज के, हमारे इस परिवार के हर व्यक्ति को जब तक साथ नहीं ले सकते, विशेष रूप से इस दिव्यांग जनों को जब तक साथ नहीं ले सकते, तब समाज की सारे एम्पावरमेंट का प्रश्न उठता ही नहीं है। तो मेरा कहने का तात्पर्य है कि विज्ञान भारती ने इस विषय को इस ISF के इस कार्यक्रम में निश्चित तौर पे इसी कारण से लिया कि यद्यपि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का विभाग देखें, सोशल जस्टिस डिपार्टमेंट देखें, या आपने सबने जानकारी देखी होगी कि माननीय मोदी जी ने गुजरात में या अन्य काफी जगह ऐसे बड़े बड़े कैंप्स आयोजित किए जहां पर बहुत ही काफी सारे एक साथ डिफरेंटली एनेबल्ड लोगों को, फिजिकली चैलेंज लोगों को इस तरह के जो असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी वितरित की है। लेकिन हम मानते हैं कि उससे अधिक ये काम केवल आपको कहना चाहिए कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया या किसी विशेष शासन का नहीं है। निश्चित तौर पर इस विषय को लेकर जब तक संवेदनशीलता समाज के हर तबके में नहीं होगी, तब तक निश्चित तौर पर, क्योंकि भारत देश है, एक बड़ा देश है, और जब तक हम सभी लोग मिलकर एक संवेदनशीलता, एक सेंसिटिविटी इस विषय को लेकर नहीं दिखाएंगे, तब तक निश्चित तौर पर हम कह सकते हैं कि वैभवशाली भारत, जिसमें सारे लोग शामिल हैं, हमारे सारे भाई बहन शामिल हैं, निश्चित तौर पर नहीं हो सकता है। इस विषय में आप सब लोग निश्चित तौर पर मेरे से ज्यादा जानते हैं, क्योंकि मैं मानता हूं कि अधिकतर लोग इस क्षेत्र में काफी दिनों से बहुत क्लोजली काम कर रहे हैं और कई ऐसी योजनाओं को इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में कहीं ना कहीं सहायक सिद्ध हो रहे हैं। लेकिन उसके सबके बावजूद भी जहां तक साइंटिफिक एंड टेक्नोलॉजिकल फैसिलिटी का सवाल है, उनके लिए एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण जिम्मेदारी इनको ऊपर है कि कुछ चीजें आज के जो IT एनेबल्ड वर्ल्ड में या सोसाइटी के लिए एक तरह कहना चाहिए साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी के उपयोग का उपयोग करके, यद्यप हम समस्या को पूरी तरीके से सॉल्व तो नहीं कर पाते हैं, पर निश्चित तौर पर कई महीनों में हम एक आवश्यकता के अनुसार एक कोई उपयुक्त असिस्टिव टेक्नोलॉजी उपलब्ध कराते हैं, तो निश्चित तौर पर एक काफी बड़ी समस्या का निदान हो जाता है। तो हमारा जो मेन फोकस है, और अनेक बार ऐसा होता है कि इन चीजों के, सारे चीजों के जो सॉल्यूशंस हैं, कहीं ना कहीं एक यूनिवर्सल सॉल्यूशन नहीं होते हैं। कुछ सॉल्यूशन यूनिवर्सल होते हैं, लेकिन हमको संवेदनशील होकर कई प्रकरणों में एक विशेष, जिसको हम कहते हैं कस्टमाइज सॉल्यूशन, ऐसे सॉल्यूशन भी इजाद करने पड़ते हैं। तो हम सारे वैज्ञानिक जो फैसिलिटी है, उस सबका एक हमारा इस कार्यक्रम को आयोजित करने का मुख्य रूप से यही उद्देश्य था कि समाज के हर तबके में इस एक समस्या के प्रति एक कहना चाहिए कि एक अवेयरनेस फैले, जिससे सबका पार्टिसिपेशन हो सके, और जब सबका साथ पार्टिसिपेशन हो पाएगा, निश्चित तौर पर तब ही हम इस समस्या को और दूर कर पाएंगे। क्योंकि हमारा जो इस मुख्य थीम है, वो हम कहते हैं कि आत्मनिर्भर, जब तक हम आत्मनिर्भरता हर व्यक्ति में नहीं पैदा कर पाएंगे, तो निश्चित तौर पर आत्मनिर्भर भारत तो हो ही नहीं पाएगा, और विश्व कल्याण की बात हम निश्चित तौर पर नहीं सोच पाएंगे। इसी चीज को ध्यान में रखते हुए हम सब लोगों ने मिलकर एक विचार किया कि ये एक एरिया ऐसा है जो शायद सामान्य तौर पर लगता है कि उतने अधिक उसका नहीं है, जिसमें अधिक लोग नहीं आने की संभावना है, लेकिन फिर भी निश्चित तौर पर हमको लगा कि हमको इस क्षेत्र में भी एक पब्लिक अवेयरनेस फैलानी चाहिए, और विशेष रूप से हमारे जो वैज्ञानिक हैं, साइंटिस्ट हैं, लेबोरेटरीज हैं, बेसिकली उनको ये कहीं ना कहीं कर्तव्य बोध हमको करना चाहिए कि भाई ये आपकी एक सामाजिक एक सोशल वेल्थ जनरेशन के साथ साथ आपको ये एस्पेक्ट भी निश्चित तौर पर कहीं ना कहीं ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा। और आप यदि संवेदनशील होंगे तो मैं मानता हूं कि आपका जो डोमेन एरिया है नॉलेज का, वो कहीं ना कहीं किसी न किसी तरीके से आप अप्लाई कर देंगे, बिकॉज जो एप्लीकेशन जो है आपके मन में, जो इनोवेटिव एप्लीकेशन कहीं ना कहीं संवेदनशीलता सेंसिटिविटी लेवल से ही आता है। तो हम यदि सेंसिटिव होंगे तो कहीं ना कहीं जो हमारे डिफरेंटली एनेबल्ड लोग हैं और फिजिकली चैलेंज लोग हैं, इनको हम समाज की मुख्य धारा में ला पाएंगे। तौर पर एक जिसको कहना चाहिए एक आत्मनिर्भर भारत और एक थीम है, कहीं ना कहीं पूरा कर पाएंगे। आप सारे लोग निश्चित तौर पर मैं मानता हूं कि कहीं ना कहीं इस क्षेत्र में मेरे से ज्यादा जुड़े हुए हैं और आप निश्चित तौर पर बहुत ज्यादा आपको मैं आपको बता सकूं ऐसा नहीं है, लेकिन मैं यहाँ पर मेरा आने का मुख्य उद्देश्य यही है कि विज्ञान भारती की इस विषय को लेकर जो संवेदनशीलता है उसके प्रति मैं आप सबको मैं आपको सबको एक मुझे कहना चाहिए कि आपको हम एक शो करने की दृष्टि से, एक बताने की दृष्टि से यहाँ आए हैं। और ये कार्यक्रम हम यही कार्यक्रम नहीं आए सिर्फ, बल्कि हम एक अन्य कार्यक्रम भी आयोजित करते हैं, टेक फॉर सेवा। वो कार्यक्रम भी कहीं कुछ समाज के अन्य क्षेत्रों में, विशेष रूप से फिजिकली चैलेंज लोग या इन लोगों के लिए हम क्या क्या टेक्नोलॉजी उपलब्ध करा सकते हैं, इस बारे में एक अवेयरनेस फैलाने की दृष्टि से हम अन्य कार्यक्रम भी आयोजित करते रहते हैं। एक बार और आप सब लोगों को यहाँ पर विज्ञान भारती की ओर से मैं आपको शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ कि आप हमारे इस कैंपेन में शामिल हुए, और मैं ये आशा करता हूँ कि इस कैंपेन में हमारे आप आगामी समय में भी क्योंकि एक बार जुड़ गए हैं विज्ञान भारती से और डीएसटी से, तो इस हमारे जो कैंपेन में आप सतत रूप से सहयोग प्रदान करते रहेंगे। इसी आशा के साथ आपको धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करते हुए जय हिंद, जय भारत। ओवर टू कंपेयर प्लीज।
Thank you very much, sir, for addressing the gathering with your prestigious thoughts. Now I'll invite Dr. Sabri Sen to propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Velibji. It is a great opportunity and honor for me to speak on this occasion and to offer vote of thanks to our esteemed guest. On behalf of entire CATD team, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to our chief guest, Dr. Sudhir Singh Bhadoria ji, Director, University Institute of Technology, Rajiv Gandhi Pradyogiki Vishwavidyalaya, Bhopal, MP. Sir, thank you for being with us and in spite of your busy schedule and enriching us on your thoughtful words on science and Divyangjan. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. Thank you so much. I thank our guest of honor, Madam Dithono Nakurudi, State Commissioner for Persons with Disability, Government of Nagaland. Madam, it's an honor for us for being with us in spite of your busy schedule. Thank you, Madam, for your inspiring words and valuable presence in our valedictory session. Thank you, ma'am. My heartfelt thanks to our special guest, Dr. Shubroto Kumar Dashji, Rehabilitation Officer, SSEPD Department, Government of Odisha, and President Saksham, Odisha Purva Prant, Bhubaneswar, for joining with us in the valedictory session on Assistive Technology Conclave and inspire us with your thoughts. Thank you, sir. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude and thanks to all the panelists, participants present in the conclave for 2 days. My thanks to entire IISF Secretariat for their continuous support and guidance to make the program a grand success. Thank you, IISF Secretariat and Vigyan Bharati and all of who are associated with this. Special mention to our principal coordinator, Dr. Gopi Krishna ji. I think we made this program a success under your guidance. Dr.
Thank you,
Velib,
ma'am. No, it's a team effort, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank
whatever it
you.
is, but we must extend our thanks. Dr. Gopi Krishna ji, Dr. Velib ji, Rajneesh ji, Patro ji, Ajay ji, whoever is associated with. My acknowledgement and thanks to technology support team of IISF for being with us as a solid support system. Otherwise, I think we will not be able to reach at this point. I thank the print and electronic media too. Last but not the least, I thank each and everyone who directly and indirectly associated with us to make the program a grand success. I may be excused if I have missed anyone to offer my sincere thanks. Thank you all. Namaskar, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.